Along the road ahead lies something you need. However, in order to claim it, you must lose something that is dear to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories, and welcome to Castle Oblivion. At long last, folks, we are finally doing Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories. We are continuing our road to Kingdom Hearts 4. And I've got some interesting opinions on this game. We'll delve into those opinions as we continue through the floors of Castle Oblivion, but I'm looking forward to this. So, let's just jump right into it, guys. Let's jump right into Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories. Of course, this is a remake, PlayStation 2 remake of the original Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance. At some point, we may do the Game Boy Advance version. I do have a Retron where I can record footage for that. So we may do that at some point, but that'll be after we get through all of the games in the series. You know, once we get through Kingdom Hearts 3, Melody of Memory, you know, and we're ready for Kingdom Hearts 4. We'll do stuff like that later on. But for right now, we're going to be focusing on the PlayStation 2 remake.
You think it's okay to barge in?
But we gotta do it if we're gonna find the king.
The king? King Mickey's here?
Something just told me he'd be here, okay?
Really? 'Cause now that you mention it, I was kinda thinking the same thing.
Seriously? Me too. One look at this castle.
Alright, let me just go ahead and say this. It's so weird hearing post-puberty Haley Joel Osment's voice come out of this KH1 version of Sora. And even in stuff like Dream Drop Distance, where it's, you know, based on KH1 Sora, it just feels weird hearing Haley Joel Osment's deeper voice. I'm so used to this version of Sora having the pre-puberty Haley Joel Osment voice. It's just really odd. Now that being said, in the Game Boy Advance version of this game, they do use the KH1 Sora voice, the pre-puberty Haley Joel Osment voice, because they basically just took audio clips from the original Kingdom Hearts 1 and, you know, put them into the Game Boy Advance game, because there wasn't a lot of voice acting anyways, just battle grunts and battle quotes, pretty much. But, yeah, it's so odd hearing Haley Joel Osment's older voice coming out of this Sora. Just really freaky.
Some magic! Thunder! Come on! Thunder! Thunder! Come on! Flood! Fire! Why isn't it working?
I should think it's obvious. The moment you set foot in this castle, you forgot every spell and every ability you ever knew. In this place, to find is to lose, and to lose is to find. That is the way in Castle Oblivion.
Castle Oblivion?
Here you will meet people that you have known in the past, and you will meet people you miss.
I miss? Riku! You mean Riku's here?
If what you want is to find him.
What'd you do?
I merely sampled your memories, and from them, I made this. To reunite with those you hold dear.
What's this? A card?
It is a promise for the reunion you seek. Hold the card to open the door, and beyond it a new world. Proceed, Sora. To lose and claim anew, or to claim anew only to lose.
Come on. Let's go.
So, I guess I'll go ahead and start diving into some of my opinions on this game, and on the original Game Boy Advance game as well. Some people would argue that the original Game Boy Advance version of this game is actually superior, because to be fair, it is more difficult, it is more of a challenge. Absolutely. I remember having, gosh, like, a little bit of spoilers for a game that's this old, but I remember, like, some of the Riku fights were really difficult. Some of the later organization fights, really, really difficult on the Game Boy Advance version. They're still somewhat difficult in this game, on Proud Mode anyways. And that's the other thing about the Game Boy Advance game. It didn't have a difficulty mode selection. It was just one difficulty throughout the game. But this game is still somewhat difficult on Proud Mode. But the thing is, you can really break this game if you want to. I mean, you can come up with... If you, like, put all of your, you know, EXP into slights, which are the special abilities in this game, you can really just break this game. Like, you really can, dude. I don't feel like that was so much the case on the Game Boy Advance version. So in some ways, the Game Boy Advance version, I think, is somewhat superior. But at the same time, you know, this is the version that most people are going to play. And speaking of the Game Boy Advance version, let me go ahead and say this. You know, there is a complaint when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts franchise that, you know, there's too many quote-unquote side games, that they spread these games out on too many systems. And, you know, I think you can make the argument about that when it came to later games like Birth by Sleep, like 358 Over 2 Days, Coded, which originally was not on the DS. It was actually on a Japanese exclusive smartphone. You know, I think that complaint is warranted to a certain extent. Not so much now because you have all of these collections and everything, and, you know, it's really easy to get the entire series at this point in some form or another. So it's not that big of a deal now. But, you know, people even back in the day would complain about Chain of Memories being on the Game Boy. They were like, oh, like, this is so confusing. Like, when we got to Kingdom Hearts 2, it was like, oh, who are these guys in the black coats? You know, like, wait, Sora's asleep? Like, what's this Castle Oblivion thing? Who's this blonde-haired girl named Naminé? You know, people were, like, really confused about this type of stuff because they didn't play Chain of Memories. And there was complaints back then, you know, like, oh, why'd they put a game that had story relevance on a handheld? And it's like, listen, bro, dude, that complaint was so not warranted back in the day. Because you have to remember, we were talking about the mid-2000s. This game, the Game Boy Advance version came out, I think, in 2004. And you have to keep in mind that back then, the Game Boy Advance was like the only handheld. Not the only handheld. I think Nokia phones had some kind of weird handheld. But it was like the primary handheld. And everybody and their mother had a Game Boy Advance. All right? Everybody had a Game Boy Advance. So there was no excuse. There was no excuse not to play this game. All right? Because I know you had a Game Boy Advance back in the day. Everybody had a Game Boy Advance back in the day. You may not have even had a Nintendo GameCube, but I bet you had a Game Boy Advance. I bet you damn well had a Game Boy Advance. So, you know, I never really bought into the argument that they, you know, shouldn't have put Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance because, in my personal opinion, and the facts show that the Game Boy Advance was so freaking popular, dude. Everybody had a Game Boy Advance. Everybody and their mother had a Game Boy Advance. you could get this game. This game was, the original Game Boy Advance version was easily accessible. So, yeah, there's always been complainers in the Kingdom Hearts fandom, and not the Kingdom Hearts fandom so much, because we love this series despite all of its flaws, but in the gaming, we'll call it quote-unquote journalist community, there's always been complainers about the series, even when it wasn't warranted. And I will call out the flaws of the series when it is warranted. So yeah, we're kind of doing a little bit of a tutorial here. This is something else I will talk about, since, it's relevant at this point, and that is the battle system in this game. A lot of people, when it comes to the battle system for Chain of Memories and Rechain of Memories using the card deck and everything, some people really don't like it. In fact, I would say most people don't like it. I'm kind of an oddball because I do like this battle system quite a bit, to be honest with you. You can do some really interesting stuff with this battle system. You can get really broken with this battle system. You can absolutely break this game. You can make a deck that's almost entirely magic. Like, you can have like an entire magic build. Like, that's unheard of. Like, that's crazy. People who complain about, oh, it's just a hack and slash, Kingdom Hearts is. Well, then make yourself a magic build. Like, you can have an entire magic build. I think you have to have at least one physical attack card, but you can make almost an entire deck of magic cards. Like, this game lets you do stuff that you can't do in other Kingdom Hearts games, and I think it's quite creative, to be honest with you. And considering that this game originally was a Game Boy Advance game, the card deck system, I think, was a good way to take the Kingdom Hearts 1 battle system and to incorporate it onto a handheld system, which didn't have as many buttons as a, PlayStation 2 controller. So I think it was quite creative what they did, and I will say, playing this game on the Game Boy Advance with the card deck system, it still felt like Kingdom Hearts. I mean, it felt like Kingdom Hearts. It wasn't really all that different, to be honest with you. So I think it was really smart for them to do this. I think it was quite creative, and I do enjoy this system. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this system, and hopefully we'll see some of that cool stuff as we continue throughout the game. So the other thing is about this remake, because it is a remake and it was, made for, probably had a smaller budget for this game. There's not any voice acting in the worlds, the Disney worlds, and in Traverse Town. There's not any voice acting. It's all just speech bubbles, and the reason for that is because, hey, voice actors aren't cheap, especially when you're hiring Disney voice actors. So, they decided not to try and hire as few voice actors as possible, because this game was made on a budget. It was originally, the remake, Rechain of Memories, was originally paired with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix when that released in Japan back in, I believe it was 2007. And this game came out right at the tail end of the PlayStation 2's life cycle. I mean, 2007. I think this game came out early 2007, and then the PlayStation 3 came out later that year. So, this game really came out right at the tail end of the PlayStation 2's life cycle. But, it didn't have as much of a budget as the other games, so they had to save money where they could. And, it was originally paired with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix in Japan. So, that was, I would say that was a pretty good deal for the Japanese. But yeah, that was awesome. And then later on it came out, I think it was a year later that it came out internationally as a separate game, as its own single release. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix wouldn't come out until we got the HD collections for some reason, but Rechain of Memories was released as its own separate game internationally, and I was really happy to see this game. Because I love the Game Boy Advance game. I have so many memories of that game, playing it in the car, going to sporting events, or, just whatever, and I would always play that game. I would always play that game in the car, and I don't know, like, that was kind of the game for me on the Game Boy Advance. Like, if I had to think about what handheld game I probably have played the most in my life, it would be the original Chain of Memories. So to see it remade and stuff, it was like, oh, we're taking that and we're bringing it to life in 3D graphics, and it was cool and awesome, and I was so excited about this game when it first came out, and I still love it to this day. This is a great game. Yeah, we're still kind of in the tutorial, and while I'm thinking about it, after I get some more Moogle points, lots of lovely Moogle points, which I can't, there's really no point in going to the Moogle shop. Well, I don't have a Moogle shop card at this point, but there's really no point in going to the Moogle shop until probably maybe the 3rd or 4th world, I'm thinking. Maybe. It depends on what kind of cards I collect as we go throughout the worlds. But I definitely want to save up some Moogle points for sure. Oh, before I forget, I do want to change my settings. The battle controls. Let me make sure I've got this right. Let's see. L2, R2, spin the card revolver. L2 plus R2, use stock cards. L1 button, release stock cards. R1 button, lock. Yeah, see, the default controls, your lock-on button is actually R2, which is different from most other Kingdom Hearts games because it's usually R1. So I'm going to switch to Type B because that's more akin to the other games. That's more akin to Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. So we're going to switch over to the Type B controls. And we are on proud mode, by the way, just in case you were wondering. Obviously, I did skip the intro and stuff because copyright reasons. But yeah, we are on proud mode. So. Alright. Go ahead and save. Oh, I love the Traverse Town music so much, dude. It's so good. Alright, so we need to get some map cards. So we need to fight lots and lots of enemies. Get some good map cards. Let's see. Come here, buddy. Time to die. Well, that hurt. Yeah, unfortunately our deck is kind of ass at this point. I mean, it's suitable for the beginning of the game, but I cannot wait till we get some of the really powerful cards. We're gonna be so busted. Holy crap, there's a lot of enemies here. Alright, let's pull off the Wild Crush. God, Goofy's gonna have such a headache. Let's see, what do I want to do? I think I will raise my card points, my CP. Yeah, there's so many unique things about this game. Like when you level up, you get to pick which stats you want to increase instead of it being something automatic you get with whatever level you're at. And I don't know, like this game has a lot of cool ideas that I wish they would update and modernize and bring back in another Kingdom Hearts game because this stuff is really cool. There's a lot of great ideas here. Ah, man, that stupid Shadow dodged it. That's annoying. Alright, this time, I think I will do... Actually, no, I'm still going to do CP.
Heal. Yeah.
Let's see. I don't think I smashed this yet. Oh, well, I got one Moogle point out of that. Or 4, whatever. Oh, I love to see those Moogle points. Save it up, baby. Alright. Let's see here. I think I'm going to use that one. So, something that's interesting here is that there is a Pluto card. You know, you have like a Donald friend card, Goofy friend card. You get friend cards for other party members later on. But there's also a Pluto friend card. And it doesn't show up a lot. It's very, very rare when it shows up. But he like digs up health points, or I forget exactly what he does, to be honest with you. But he like digs something up, like a dog digging in your yard or something. And I forget exactly what he does, but yeah, there is a Pluto card that you can get randomly in fights, and I don't know what triggers it. I might look that up later and see exactly how we can trigger it. Maybe we'll get to see it at some point in the Let's Play. But it's very rare to get the Pluto card. Ah, we have Leon. See, they even put Leon in Chain of Memories of all things, but when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3, oh no, we can't have Leon in Kingdom Hearts 3. Yes, I'm still salty about that, and I will never stop complaining about that, because there was no reason for the Radiant Garden Restoration Committee to not be in Kingdom Hearts 3. So as we go throughout these worlds, obviously all of these worlds are based on Sora's memories from Kingdom Hearts 1. But the memory version of these characters, you know, they don't recall Sora. They don't remember Sora. Hey Sora, listen, dude, listen. You have no right to talk, because you forgot that these characters existed in Kingdom Hearts 3. Not once when Ienzo called you guys did you ask, hey, you're in Radiant Garden. How is Leon and the gang doing? Blah, 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 blah. Like, no, you just didn't give a damn. And yes, I know you were dealing with the organization and Xehanort and the universe is coming to an end. I get all that. But you couldn't just, you know, ask how they were doing. Are they okay? What's going on, guys? You know, the B team, the guys that I fought with. against the Heartless in the previous 2 games. Like, come on, Sora. You completely forgot that Leon and the others existed. Like, pisses me off, dude. Ah, but see, Leon kind of remembers. This is the only world where the memory-based characters seem to have some recollection of Sora, some vague remembrance of Sora. And that's probably because Sora, you know, let's be honest here, Sora probably has a closer connection to these guys than he does to some of the Disney characters because, you know, I mean, again, this is the B team. It's the B team. Like, if Sora and the other Keyblade wielders get taken out, who do you think's going to step up to defend the worlds? It's going to be Leon in the gang because they are the B team. They're the backup. And I love how Yuffie is just taking this all, you know, just so well. She's so nonchalant about all this. Alright, got another tutorial fight coming up. Not really a boss fight, just, you know, more so learning about sleights and stuff and things like that. Oh yeah, I forgot I changed the controls earlier. Yes, 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 we know how numbers work, Leon. And apparently 0 trumps everything. Which, a funny little note about 0. I think it was the Romans. The Romans don't actually have a number for 0. They didn't have a concept of 0 in Roman numerology. So if you've ever wondered what the Roman numeral for 0 is, I don't think there is one, because they just didn't have a concept of it. Alright. Got the Simba card. That's going to come in particularly handy when we get to Monstro. Alright. What level are we at? We're at level 3. Cool. Okay. So, I think when I level up next, I actually am going to get a Slight. So I can start working on that. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? I guess we'll use that. Ooh, hello, hello. Be high, be high, be high. Okay, 5. That's not bad for this point in the game. That's not bad for this point in the game. Alright. Sliding dash. Let's get it. Slide towards distant targets for a close range attack. 3 attack card values of the same type. Total value 10 to 15. There we go. We stunned your ass. Now, I do need to be careful. I don't want to get too over-leveled. Ooh, that's going to come in handy. Yes, sir, that's going to come in handy. Because we got a boss coming up that's particularly weak to blizzard magic. Alright, let's see here. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Guess I'll use you. So basically, she's got deja vu. Now, as the game goes on, Sora's going to end up forgetting the people that he knew in the previous game as well. So it's not just the memory versions that are going to not recognize Sora. Sora's not going to recognize them. A lot of memory bullcrap that goes on in this game. Obviously, it's called Chain of Memories, but it can get pretty wild. It's interesting, though. Like, I like some of the concepts in this game. I really do. Because one chain of memories links to another chain of memories. See, everything is connected. I know this series too well. Alright, so we got our final story card, so we can wrap up this world. Gosh, I really don't... You know what, I guess I will use a 0 card. That's going to give us the black mushroom, so I'll get to show them off pretty early. Gosh, we're getting so much money so early, or Moogle points, I should say. That's what I like to see, baby. That's what I like to see. Alright, so you know what? I'll go ahead and fight one of you, just to show you guys off. Alright, well that was a really quick fight, just one of you guys. Alright, but yeah, that's the black mushrooms, everybody. So now it is time to take on the boss of this world. So So let's go ahead and do that, and we can wrap up Traverse Town. And we'll be nearly done with the first episode here. Uh-oh. Well, too bad, guys. Looks like you are going to see the giant Heartless. And we get to see the guard armor in its original Kingdom Hearts color palette. Not the final mix version, but the original purple. And no, folks, there is no fight against the opposite armor in this game, unfortunately. But yeah, they do use the original color palettes for the Heartless in Rechain of Memories instead of the Final Mix color palette, which, you know, I think it's pretty cool. We get to see both as we continue on the road to Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh, real? Oh, screw you, dude. Why does our deck suck at this point? What I really need is a trick card. Now, in a trick card, what that is, in certain boss battles, you'll get a trick card that will allow you to gain some sort of advantage over the boss, and it can really turn the tide of battle. And we just got it, baby. Refill my deck, and boom. There we go. Alright, Sora, go ham on this guy. Took out 2 of his limbs, that's not bad. Alright, good job, Donald. Ooh, hello, hello. Come to daddy. Ah, shoot, I missed the goofy card. Damn it. Well, we got them all the same. Alright, so I think this time we're actually going to upgrade our HP. Well, that was freaking ominous. Alright, so that wraps it up for Traverse Town, folks. Gather us some more goodies here in the final room. And then we'll head back into the castle corridors. Ooh, a 7 Kingdom key. Now, see, that's good. That's some good stuff right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And I am going to edit my deck a little bit before we head out, because we got another boss fight coming up. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Alright, so let's see here. Slightly extends the range of attack cards. Okay. Ooh, I got 2. When did I get 2 blizzards? Well, I'm not complaining at all. And might as well. We've got... Wait, do we have enough? Let's see. Yeah, we've got enough. Just barely. But might as well. Simba, you're not really going to be useful for a little bit. I might equip you for the next world, depending on which world it is that we go to. But for this fight, I don't think you're going to be all that useful. But I definitely will be equipping you later. But I think our deck looks pretty good like that for this next fight. Oh, trophy. Neat. Alright, so let's go ahead and save again. Alright, cutscene time.
Well, Sora, Did you enjoy meeting your memories?
Yeah, it was good to see everyone. But what do you really want from me?
What do you have to give?
Hello.
What do you want?
No hogging the hero.
Then perhaps you'd like to test him.
Perhaps I would. My show now, Keyblade Master. Who am I? Oh, my name's Axel. Got it memorized?
Sure.
Good. You're a quick learner. So, Sora, now that we're getting to know each other better... Don't you go off and die on me now.
Yo, I love Axel in this game. Like, he's such an asshole in this game. I love it. Sometimes I wish, like, current Axel or Lee or whatever would bring back some of this personality, because his personality in this game is like, yo, dude. I love Axel in this game. So obviously, yeah, he is weak to Blizzard, which is very effective. Very, very effective in this fight. Ow, he caught me in a combo. Can I get out of that? Not this time, sir. Oh, he dodged it. You ass. Now, I might be able to finish him with this. Nice. Give me a break at that Kit Kat bar. Right, Axel? Oh, I thought we might level up again from that. Oh well. Fire, very nice.
Another one? What's it do?
Kinda looks like the card you used when you made Traverse Town.
Then I guess we're gonna need it to keep going.
That's right.
Axel!
Did you really think after that introduction I would give up oh so easily?
You were testing us.
And you passed. Congratulations, Sora. You're ready now. Ready to take on Castle Oblivion. You will need to follow your memories. Trust what you remember and seek what you forget. Then you will find someone very special.
You mean King Mickey and Riku?
You will just have to give some more thought to who it is that's most important to you. Our most precious memories lie so deep within our hearts that they're out of reach. But I'm sure that you can find yours, Sora.
Why me?
You have lost sight of the light within the darkness, and it seems that you've forgotten that you forgot.
The light within darkness?
Would you like me to give you a hint?
Sora, do you need it?
I'm gonna figure it out for myself. If you're in my way...
Don't worry, Sora. We'll protect you.
Good answer. Just what I'd expect from the Keyblade Master. But be forewarned. When your sleeping memories awaken, you may no longer be who you are now.
All right, that was freaking ominous again. All right, folks, so that's going to wrap it up for episode 1 of Let's Play Chain of Memories. In the next episode, we've got some decisions to make on which world we're going to go to first. But we'll take care of that in the next episode. All right, so, guys, here's some links coming up on the screen. I got a Patreon. I got some other channels, other social media. Go check them out. Support me on Patreon if you can. You get videos like this early before they're released publicly to everybody else for only $3 a month. So go check all that good stuff out, and I will see you guys next time in the next episode of Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.